Could this secluded mud pit in the Brazilian rainforest be the secret to eradicating stubborn, embarrassing toenail fungus? Nestled deep within the lush, vibrant heart of the Amazon, there lies a hidden mud pit, until recently known only to the indigenous tribes who call the rainforest home. And this isn't just any mud. It's a concoction of rare earth, exotic botanicals, and unique microorganisms that brew together to form a natural remedy that's been used by tribesmen to heal deep wounds and regenerate infected skin for centuries. These locals, who never suffer from foot fungus and never get any skin problems despite walking for miles barefoot through dirt jungle, rotting leaves, and puddles full of bacteria, have been immersing their feet in this miraculous mud, reaping benefits that seem almost otherworldly for hundreds of years. Well, the curiosity of the modern world couldn't resist unraveling the secrets of this Amazonian treasure. And thanks to breakthrough new research from UC San Diego and the esteemed Lübeck Institute for Experimental Dermatology in Germany, the mysteries of the rainforest mud are finally coming to light, bridging the gap between ancestral knowledge and scientific discovery. We now know that this mud you're looking at holds an incredible secret, something that has the power to totally and completely destroy even the most stubborn cases of stubborn toenail fungus, and to ensure it never again returns once it's gone. Which means you can finally free yourself from the suffocating grip of sweaty socks in the summer heat, and feel the air on your bare feet, without caring for a second who sees your toenails, or feeling the need to hide your awful secret from the world. Instead, your toenails will look clear and normal again, as those horrible yellow-brown streaks and your crumbling nails become nothing but a distant memory. Hey, it's Tom Anderson here, and inside this video, I'll be sharing an extremely powerful nail fungus eliminating breakthrough, a 5-second fungal detox trick that was first discovered in a remote village deep in Brazil, where the locals have never had a single documented cause of fungal infection, even though they spend all day and night walking barefoot throughout the hot, humid, and wet jungles of the Amazonian rainforest. And that's now been proven in multiple studies and clinical trials done by scientists at UC San Diego and the University of Wisconsin, to obliterate every lingering trace of fungus from your nails in just a matter of weeks. And what's even more compelling is that you don't have to go all the way to the Amazon to immerse your feet in the mud. Instead, this is a groundbreaking approach inspired by the ancient secrets of the rainforest that has been refined and made accessible for you to implement right away in the sanctuary of your own home. To swiftly eradicate embarrassing toenail fungus, regardless of its severity, its persistence, and no matter for how long you've had it, restoring your toenails back to their healthy and natural state, while liberating your feet from the smothering confines of socks and closed-toed shoes, and allowing them to breathe freely, feeling the refreshing touch of the air day after day, night after night. Imagine the surge of relief and confidence with every step, as you no longer hide or feel the burden of unsightly nails. The joy of walking barefoot on the beach, the comfort of slipping into sandals, all without a second thought. This breakthrough has nothing to do with oils or creams that burn your skin and smell awful, or surgeries, or taking pills, or medications, or painful and expensive lasers either. Instead, you'll be able to comfortably and effectively destroy your nail fungus forever, without a single trip to the doctor or the store. And I know, these are some pretty impressive promises, but I'm absolutely confident in making them. Because not only did this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough work for me, helping me to finally get rid of my stubborn toenail fungus after a horrifying accident at a water park left me humiliated in front of hundreds of people, but it has now been used successfully by over 87,100 men and women across the US. Folks who have been struggling with their toenail fungus for years, and who used to feel hopeless because nothing they tried was able to give them any real relief. Like John in Houston.
I've battled with toenail fungus for what seems like over a decade now, and I've tried every treatment out there. Creams, oils, even prescription meds, and nothing worked. I was close to giving up. But after watching your video and trying what you shared, my fungus is finally gone, and I can't believe it. Now, I step out with pride and no longer worry about my feet. That freedom I feel is, well, it's indescribable. Thank you, Tom. From the bottom of my feet.
Or Lisa in Seattle.
My toenail fungus was a constant source of embarrassment. I'd stopped going to water aerobics because I didn't want anyone to see my feet. But your video changed everything. After using the treatment just a few seconds a day, I saw my nails clear up and the fungus simply disappeared. I've returned to my water aerobics classes feeling confident and rejuvenated, and I owe it all to your life-changing advice.
And Mike in Richmond.
My family always wants to vacation by the water, but I'm just not comfortable with it. I'm always the weirdo in water shoes or closed-toed sneakers, laying on the beach or playing by the pool. And there was no way I was going to show my feet in public. But all that changed because of what you shared in this video. I can't believe how quickly my foot fungus disappeared. It was amazing. And now, finally, I can enjoy family vacations at the beach and just relax with my bare feet in the sand. Thank you.
Now it's your turn to join these incredible folks by starting your journey towards healthier, clearer toenails. And once you do, you'll be amazed at how quickly your toenails regain their natural, healthy appearance. As you no longer have to hide your feet or feel embarrassed about your toenails, or worry about your dirty secret infecting someone else. Instead, you'll once again feel comfortable, confident, and free. And you'll be able to wear whatever footwear you want without worrying about how people seeing your exposed feet. So let's get started right now. Like I just mentioned a moment ago, my name is Tom. I'm a 49-year-old man who lives outside of Orlando, Florida. And this all started about 4 years ago with the appearance of a crusty yellow streak on the nail of my big toe on my right foot. And while it definitely didn't look pretty, at first, I didn't really think it was the end of the world. I told myself that maybe it would just go away on its own. But of course, that's not what happened. Instead, the yellow streak began to spread, growing thicker and crustier as it consumed my nail. And then, as if mocking my despair, it made the leap to several of my other toenails too, turning them crumbly, discolored, and hideous to look at. The sight of my own feet became a source of shame and disgust. I could see the repulsion in other people's eyes, and it ate at me, gnawing at my self-esteem. I hated even looking at my feet. The emotional toll was brutal. I withdrew from social activities and avoided the beach like the plague, and the joy of feeling sand between my toes became a distant memory. Wearing socks and sandals became my embarrassing norm, a futile attempt to conceal my affliction. The shame, the constant hiding, it was relentless. So of course, I went and bought every cream, ointment, powder, and spray I could find, including several expensive prescription-strength ones that my doctor prescribed. But they either made zero difference at all, or, in some cases, they seemed to be helping for a week or two, but then they just completely stopped being effective, and my fungus came back worse than before. Each recurrence felt like a betrayal, a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. That's when my doctor suggested I do laser treatments, which, at $500 per treatment with a minimum of 4 treatments, felt like highway robbery, since the only thing those lasers seemed to burn was a big fat hole in my wallet. It was both humiliating and infuriating. The relentless cycle of hope and disappointment was wearing me down. I felt a growing sense of isolation, like being in a battle nobody could understand, trapped with this fungus forever. And if you're watching this video, then maybe this is how you feel right now too, which is why I want you to know that nail fungus really is not your fault. And I'm not just saying that to be nice, but because, as you're about to discover, there's actually a surprisingly simple reason why your nail fungus feels impossible to get rid of. And it's something that no doctor has ever told you about before. Even though there are countless scientific studies from the world's leading universities proving this is true, you're going to be really shocked when you hear what this is. Especially if right now, your toenail fungus makes you feel trapped and you're worried about losing your toenails, or you're sick of dealing with the judgmental looks of family, friends, or even your own doctor. And it feels like you're setting your money on fire with each failed treatment you try. Yet you still can't even enjoy the simple things in life, like walking barefoot in the grass, or taking a dip in the water, without feeling like you're dirty and unclean. I know that's how it was for me. And then things went from bad to worse, when, during a family trip to a water park, my toenail fungus was exposed to everyone in the most humiliating way possible. You see, my daughter Lily had been bugging me all summer to take her to a water park, and I kept saying no, making up excuses like, it's too expensive, but really, I just didn't want to go somewhere where my yellow, crusty toenails would be exposed. Lily was relentless though, so finally I caved, and I said yes. And I convinced myself that I'd be able to get away with wearing water shoes the whole time. That way, nobody would be able to see my nails. And at first, my plan seemed to be working out. But then, Lily wanted to go on this 4-person ride called Typhoon Twister. And when we finally got to the top, after 45 minutes of waiting in line under the hot sun, one of the teenage lifeguards beelined right over to me, insisting that I had to take my water shoes off. For a moment, I froze in horror. The thought of exposing my feet and revealing my secret to the world was paralyzing. But there was Lily, her eyes sparkling with excitement, unaware of the internal battle raging within me. Reluctantly, I complied with the lifeguard's demands and peeled off my water shoes. Every fiber of my being screamed in protest, but I couldn't let Lily down. But then, in that heart-stopping moment, it happened. We got paired up with a young mom and her little girl who couldn't have been more than 6. And while I tried to hide my feet underneath me once I got into the tube, that same punk kid came over again yelling that I needed to stretch out my legs like everyone else. And as soon as I did that, the little girl, who until then was bubbly and excited, took one look at my feet and let out this blood-curdling scream. I could see the terror in her eyes, which were fixed on my feet. And while her mother tried to soothe her, when she glanced at my feet, I could see the physical disgust in her eyes as she yelled, "Ew!" As we hurtled down the slide, the only thing I could hear was the girl's cries and wails echoing off the walls of the tube. It was the longest 40 seconds of my life. And as soon as we got to the bottom and were back on dry land, the little girl turned to her mom and, still sobbing, she screamed out,
"Are my feet going to rot like his mommy?"
She shouted this loud enough for the hundreds of people in line for the water slide and walking by to hear. They all turned around and stared at where the little girl was pointing, right at my disgusting yellow nails. And in that moment, I just wanted to die. I felt humiliated and exposed, and my poor daughter Lily went pale with embarrassment. So much so that she said she just wanted to go home after that. And she didn't say a single word the whole drive back to our house. It was like my worst nightmare had just come true. And in the days that followed, I couldn't stop thinking about that little girl's terrified face, or the disgust and pity in everyone's eyes. It made me feel so hopeless, because I tried everything. Every cream, every lotion, every medication that promised a solution, but they were all lies. Temporary fixes, or worse. They burned and left me in pain, and I kept wondering what would happen if my fungus never went away. What if it got worse? What if I infected my loved ones? What if I lost my toenails? It made me just want to hide inside my house forever. And if you told me then that just a few weeks later, I'd stumble across a shockingly simple and easy to use breakthrough hidden in a small village in the Amazon rainforest, and that it would rapidly eradicate every single centimeter of disgusting fungus from each of my nails, then go on to help over 87,100 men and women to do the same, allowing them to finally become free from the yellow, crusty, brittle nails, the embarrassment, the shame, the constant fear, I just wouldn't have believed you. I doubted relief was possible, yet it happened. I know it can work for you too. No more hiding your feet, dreading summer, or worrying about toenail loss. You'll finally enjoy life without the constant worry about your feet. I can't wait for you to experience this. So let's continue. You see, just a few weeks after that humiliating moment at the water park, I had to get on a plane with my wife to fly down to Brazil. We were heading to the very rural village where my wife had spent her childhood, a place deeply rooted in the traditions of the Tupi tribe. Known for their rich cultural heritage and a close connection to the natural environment of the Amazon rainforest, the thought of visiting a country where open-toed shoes and bare feet were the norm was the last thing I wanted to do. But it was a trip we'd been planning for over a year, and my wife couldn't have been more excited. There was no way I could get out of it. And when we got to the village my wife was from, I couldn't help but notice with envy how nobody there seemed to have a single speck of nail fungus, even though they all ran around either barefoot or in these flimsy open sandals, and their feet were constantly being exposed to rainfall and puddles of standing water, while on my end, my feet were suffocating in the sweltering heat and humidity. Yet I refused to take off my socks or shoes, even though the villagers kept looking at me like I was crazy. And finally, sensing how uncomfortable I was, one afternoon, my wife took me by the hand and told me we were going to do something different. And to my surprise, she led me right into the rainforest, where we walked down a narrow trail for about 2 miles until we reached a clearing where I saw something very strange. A large group of villagers were gathered around this big mud pit in the clearing, and they were all bathing in it, laughing and chatting like it was the most normal thing in the world. Seeing my puzzled expression, my wife explained that this mud was special. It had been a part of their culture for centuries, handed down from an Amazon tribe, the Tupi tribe, and she told me I should just jump in too. Like I said, it seemed weird, but I figured that I'd at least be able to bury my feet in the cool mud, and I was pretty desperate to get my shoes off at that point. So I rolled up my pants, took a deep breath, and stepped into the pit. And right away, the cool, squishy mud covered my feet, bringing me this powerful feeling of comfort that was a welcome relief from the constant itch and burning sensation. It was the first time I'd felt relaxed without my shoes or socks in ages. And noticing this, my wife suggested we visit the mud baths every day during our stay, which I said I was all for. So that's what we did. And while I was enjoying the sense of relief that came from sticking my feet in the mud, I never could have guessed what would happen after my 4th visit. We just returned to the little hut where we were staying, and I'd hopped in the tiny little shower we had so I could rinse off. When I happened to look down towards the drain, and I saw something that caught me completely off guard. My toenails looked different. They were less crusty and they appeared clearer, and I could even see the base of my nails poking out from beneath the fungus. Now, at first, I thought maybe it was just a fluke or that I was imagining things, but by the 8th day of going to that mud pit, there was no denying it. My toenails were visibly clearer and so much healthier looking. And the change was dramatic enough that I even started walking barefoot in the village, which I never would have dreamed of doing just a week earlier. With each passing day, my nails grew less brittle, less yellow, the gross fungus was receding and being replaced by healthy nail growth. And for the first time in years, I felt confident and free, but I also felt terrified because our trip was almost over. And I worried about what would happen when we returned to the States and I no longer had access to this mud pit. It might sound funny, but I became determined to bring as much of this mud back with me as possible. So every day, while my wife visited her relatives, I was at the mud pit, carefully filling up jars with the cool, smooth mud. And by the time we were set to leave, I had 12 jars, each filled to the brim with amazing mud, which I somehow managed to get back home. Then, once we were back in the States, each night I would create my own mini mud bath. And sure enough, each morning I'd wake up to find that my toenails were looking healthier and stronger. It really felt like a miracle. But before I knew it, I was down to my very last jar. All I could think about was my fungus coming back and living a life with painful, disgusting nails, or needing to stay covered up with socks all the time. I was so desperate to not let that happen that I even thought about flying back to Brazil, or having my wife get her village to ship the mud out to me. But I knew that wasn't all practical or affordable. So, in my desperation, I thought of the next best thing. I reached out to a local laboratory here in Central Florida and asked them if they would be able to analyze what was actually inside the mud. That way, maybe I could try and recreate it, or at least understand why it appeared to be clearing up my nail fungus when nothing else had. The lab was a bit hesitant at first, because they normally only worked with universities. But after some back and forth, they agreed, and I sent my sample in. It felt like an eternity as I waited to hear back, especially since I was now out of mud entirely, and I can also see signs of the nail fungus creeping back. But then, finally, after about 3 weeks, I received a call from the lab, and to my surprise, it was the laboratory's founder on the line, a man named Dr. David Landon, and he sounded really excited as he asked me if I could meet him in person ASAP to discuss my sample. So, I went to see Dr. Landon the very next day, and sitting in Dr. Landon's office, I couldn't help but be impressed by all the advanced degrees that hung on the wall behind him, especially his PhD from a very prestigious institute out in Massachusetts. Or the fact that prior to moving back to Central Florida to be closer to his brother and sister, he'd be the director of one of the most advanced microbiology laboratories in the world. And then, after a few moments of small talk, Dr. Landon asked me if I'd ever heard of something called microbiome. I told him that I had, and that I believed it was related to a bacteria in our guts. Dr. Landon said that was correct, but that wasn't why he was asking. In 2022, a team of scientists from the world-renowned Lübeck Institute for Experimental Dermatology in Germany made an amazing discovery. Something that completely flipped everything we thought we knew about nails and toenail fungus on its head. What they did was use a special form of spectral microscopy that no one had thought to use before, Dr. Landon explained. And they immediately saw that our toenails are actually teeming with life, with this whole ecosystem of good and bad bacteria both on the surface of our nails and inside of our nails too. Look, you can see what the microscope captured here. All those red circles and lines you're seeing are different types of bacteria on the surface of a toenail. And Dr. Landon told me this was why he'd asked me if I was familiar with the word microbiome. Because what this research, which was published in Nature, the most prestigious peer-reviewed scientific journal in the world, had proven is that just like our guts, our toenails have a microbiome too. And Dr. Landon said that since this research first came out, several additional published studies from scientists at UC San Diego and other leading research centers around the world had all confirmed those German scientists' findings. Now, this was all really interesting, but of course, what I really wanted to know was what any of this had to do with my toenail fungus, or the Brazilian mud that I'd been using that had been so incredibly effective at getting rid of it. Dr. Landon explained that in the same way that a damaged gut leads to diarrhea, inflammation, hormonal issues, and even acne, what the scientists conducting this research had discovered is that when the microbiome in our nails experiences damage or disruption, it doesn't necessarily kill off all the good bacteria, but it significantly upsets the delicate balance that exists between the beneficial and harmful bacteria. This imbalance creates a favorable environment for fungus, allowing it to colonize and spread across your nails, thriving without the usual checks and balances in place. Here's another image from that same microscope that shows what he was talking about. On the left, you're looking at a toenail that has a thriving microbiome, and it's like there's this whole invisible city of healthy, good bacteria. While on the right, you could see a toenail where that good bacteria has been killed off and replaced by globs of dangerous, quickly spreading fungus. And here's what this actually looks like on our nails. The nail on the left, with the healthy microbiome, is clear as day. You can't see fungus anywhere, while the nail on the right is covered in a yellow, crumbling crust that's only going to keep getting worse. Dr. Landon said that this is what happens when the good bacteria on our toenails gets killed off. And he told me that unfortunately, this kill-off was becoming more and more common. Because just like how the overuse of antibiotics can disrupt the balance in our guts, the disinfectants used to clean the floors we stand on, the laundry detergent we use to clean our socks, and even the soap we use in the shower, all these elements can disrupt the natural microbiome of our toenails, upsetting the delicate balance. This allows the beneficial bacteria to be overrun by harmful ones, reducing our natural defense against fungus. And yet, big companies just keep making all of these cleaning agents stronger and stronger, especially since 2020, when you know what happened. And that this is one of the reasons why so many folks are noticing that their toenail fungus has gotten worse than ever in the last few years. And that brings us to the mud you asked our lab to analyze, Dr. Landon told me. It's incredibly rich in several strains of highly potent good bacteria that are virtually non-existent in the US. And yet, incredibly, each of these strains has been proven in numerous studies and clinical trials to completely decimate toenail fungus, while restoring your nail's microbiome so that it naturally stops new fungal infections from occurring. Dr. Landon said that the first good bacteria strain that his team had found when they analyzed the mud I'd sent in was a special form of Lactobacillus paracasei. And he said that Lactobacillus paracasei is often referred to as the fungus fighter by microbiologists, because it's been found to be one of the most effective strains in the world when it comes to eliminating fungus. Then, Dr. Landon said that while Lactobacillus paracasei can be found naturally in some cheese and dairy products, the strain present in this Brazilian mud was completely different. It was far more potent, and it had an extraordinary ability to combat fungus on a molecular level. And Dr. Landon told me that in a major study that was just published in the Journal of Probiotics and Antimicrobial Proteins, scientists found that when adults with severe recurring toenail fungus were given this very specific form of Lactobacillus paracasei as a topical treatment, it led to a whopping 96.31% reduction in toenail fungus in a matter of weeks. While in another major study from Brown University, when their scientists examined dozens of different strains of good bacteria and their effect on toenail fungus, they found that not only was a very pure topical form of Lactobacillus paracasei the most effective by far, but it also dramatically increased the number of immune cells in our toenails, making them up to 17.6 times more resistant to toenail fungus. Isn't that incredible? Just think of what it would be like if you could turn your toenails into an impenetrable fortress, one where fungus can never come inside, no matter how badly it wants to. That's what these studies showed this unique form of Lactobacillus paracasei could do. But remember, you can't just take Lactobacillus paracasei as a pill, the doctor reminded me. It has to be a very specific topical strain, like the one used in this mud. And normally, in the US, the only way you can get access to something like this is by working in a laboratory at Harvard or MIT. Which is why the fact that this form of Lactobacillus paracasei is inside the mud you've been using is so remarkable. And Dr. Landon said this strain of Lactobacillus paracasei was even more powerful when you combined it with the next strain his lab had identified, a very high potency strain of Lactobacillus acidophilus, which multiple clinical trials have found is able to stop the growth of toenail fungus dead in its tracks, while restoring your nail's microbiome so that it kills new fungus on contact. And this includes a major clinical trial published in the Journal of Probiotics and Antimicrobial Proteins, where scientists gave a large group of adults with severe nail fungus a topical form of Lactobacillus acidophilus, like in the Brazilian mud. And they found that Lactobacillus acidophilus completely eliminated all traces of their toenail fungus within 6 weeks. And what's even more impressive is that when these scientists followed up with those adults several months later, they found that those who had used this special form of Lactobacillus acidophilus were 400% less likely to have developed new toenail fungus. when compared to the study's control group of people who had been given a placebo. So this means that not only does this very specific form of Lactobacillus acidophilus kill your toenail fungus, it also makes sure your fungus never returns. And if you're wondering how this could be possible, the answer comes back to the toenail microbiome that we keep talking about. Because, as yet another major study published in the Journal of Food of Science and Technology recently proved, not only does Lactobacillus acidophilus instantly stop the growth of toenail fungus by 43%, but it also destroys the harmful bacteria that would normally weaken your nails and make them susceptible to fungus in the first place. And this same study also found that after 2 months of applying a topical form of Lactobacillus acidophilus identical to the one in the Brazilian mud, there was an amazing 98.5% reduction in fungus and bad bacteria in the deepest layers of our toenails. So just imagine it. No more yellow crusty nails, no more hiding your feet, no more pain or discomfort. And all thanks to the power of Lactobacillus paracasei and Lactobacillus acidophilus, the first two of the bacteria strains that Dr. Landon's lab identified. Dr. Landon also said his lab had found a very high concentration of the good bacteria, Lactobacillus rhamnosus, in the Brazilian mud too, which he said was very exciting. Because in a landmark new study out of the University of Queensland, microbiologists discovered that when a pure form of Lactobacillus rhamnosus is applied to our nails topically, it rapidly overwhelms fungus, decreasing its growth by 62% in a matter of days. And then goes on to destroy 99.6% of all nail fungus within 2 months. While another major clinical trial out of the University of California, San Francisco, found that this strain of Lactobacillus rhamnosus both kills fungus cells directly and also dissolves the biofilm that normally makes nail fungus immune from antifungal treatments. So, just think about what it would be like to have Lactobacillus paracasei, Lactobacillus acidophilus, and Lactobacillus rhamnosus all working together as they attack the fungus you already have. Wow, making it impossible for new fungus to ever colonize your nails. That would mean no more hiding your feet in socks, even in the sweltering summer heat. No more feeling like you're carrying around a dirty secret. No more painful treatments, creams that burn, or a fear of spreading the infection. And how much money would you save on treatments, podiatrist visits, and ineffective creams? Probably a lot. And Dr. Landon still wasn't done, because he told me that after analyzing this Brazilian mud, his lab had also found a hefty dose of Bifidobacterium lactis from the rich soils of the Brazilian rainforest. And he said that was actually really good news, because when this rare strain of bacteria was studied by scientists at the University of Wisconsin a few years back, they found that it was ruthless at destroying Candida fungus in the deepest layers of our nails, and renowned for its incredible ability to shatter the biofilm layer that normally protects fungus, ensuring that once your nail fungus is destroyed, it never comes back. And as Dr. Landis finished sharing all of this, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It turned out that I wasn't just soaking my feet in some ordinary mud bath. I'd been bathing them in a potent antifungal cocktail, a powerhouse of good bacteria and nutrients that had been proven in endless clinical trials to destroy toenail fungus forever. It truly was a shock. But what Dr. Landon said next caught me even more off guard. "Alright, Tom, so how are we going to get this mud to as many people as possible?" he asked me. At first, I wasn't sure what the doctor was getting at, but Dr. Landon said this was a once-in-a-100-year discovery. A unique blend of powerful probiotics, each scientifically proven to combat the real cause of toenail fungus. And the fact that I'd managed to stumble onto it just because my wife was born in a rural village next to the Brazilian rainforest? That was really lucky, Dr. Landon said. There's no way we can keep this to ourselves, he told me. Not when millions of Americans are living with the embarrassment and discomfort of toenail fungus. And countless others are dealing with the pain, the relentless itching, the brittle nails, and the fear of spreading the infection to their loved ones. In my heart, I knew he was right. Simply bathing my feet in this Brazilian mud had transformed my life. And now, I had an obligation to share this extraordinary discovery with as many people as possible. So I told Dr. Landon I was on board. And together with his lab team, we rolled up our sleeves and got to work. It was far from a walk in the park. We either had to extract these good bacteria strains directly from the mud pits of Brazil, or get our hands on laboratory-grade topical strains that weren't normally available to anyone but a small handful of scientists in $100 million science labs. And even after we got them, We had to wait another month for Dr. Landon's team to figure out how to combine them in the correct proportions, and an additional 6 weeks for the lab to figure out how to put them into a pure liquid topical, which we decided to do since it would be less messy and make these good probiotics even easier to apply. It was one of the most challenging things any of us had ever undertaken. I emptied my savings, and Dr. Landon's lab invested over $1.7 million. But at last, after all those grueling months, I was able to hold our groundbreaking creation in my hand. And now, the only thing left to see was whether it would work as well as the original Brazilian mud bath. Given the wealth of science and research, we felt we had a really good chance. But skepticism lingered. What if it didn't live up to the Brazilian mud? But then, to the collective sigh of relief from everyone involved, merely days after applying this innovative topical solution, the results that unfolded before my eyes didn't just mirror the effects of the Brazilian mud, they were remarkably, undeniably better, shattering all skepticism and surpassing our wildest hopes. My toenails, which had become increasingly yellow and brittle since running out of the mud several months before, had started to clear up and gain strength again in record time. The yellow streaks had vanished. I could see the half moons clear as day. There was no itching or burning at all. I mean, just take a look. And when Dr. Landon's team ran several advanced tests to analyze my nails on a molecular level, even they were astounded, because they couldn't find a single trace of nail fungus anywhere, even in the deepest layers of my nails. It was incredible. And what was even more thrilling was watching how this creation worked for others. Because we didn't just give this 5-second fungal detox trick to me, we also recruited a group of 116 folks with severe toenail fungus from places like online forums. And within weeks of using this breakthrough, the calls, texts, and emails started pouring in. John, a retired firefighter from Texas, told us,
"I've had toenail fungus since my 40s, and it's been a constant battle. But with this topical you created, it's like the dark clouds have finally lifted. I can finally wear sandals again. I'm no longer self-conscious, and my toenails are consistently clear and healthy. It's not just a formula, it's a miracle."
And Susan, a 52-year-old office manager in Florida, reported,
"As someone who's always hidden her feet due to embarrassment, this has been a game changer for me. My toenails are clear and healthy, and I feel more confident than ever."
While Robert, a grandfather in California, said,
"Living with toenail fungus was just a constant source of shame, but your formula changed everything. I'm not afraid to let people see my feet anymore, and I can do things I hadn't dreamed of doing in a long time, like take my grandkids to the beach. I showed my doctor, and he was just as shocked as I was. He said, 'Whatever you're doing, keep it up.' You bet I will, Doc. You bet I will."
And now it's your turn to join John, Susan, and Robert, along with the 87,121 men and women whose lives have been changed forever. So let me proudly introduce you to Probiotics, the fungus eliminating breakthrough for anyone who is sick of wrestling with stubborn toenail fungus, or the relentless embarrassment and constant worry of spreading it to loved ones or being judged. This potent solution is designed to rejuvenate your nails and effectively destroy toenail fungus. And it does this by adding several powerful and potent strains of good bacteria to the microbiome of your nails. Strains that kill fungus on their own, but that also rebuild your toenail's natural microbiome, so that new fungus never has a chance of latching on in the first place. From the moment you apply this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough, you'll begin to sense the transformation. Within just a few days, you'll start to notice a clear but gentle change in your toenails. You'll see the unsightly discoloration and thickening that were once a constant embarrassment start to disappear, as your nails begin to regain their natural, healthy appearance. As the constant fear of taking off your shoes in public or at friends' homes becomes less of a concern, your confidence will improve, and the risk of the fungus returning will continue to decrease as you go from feeling self-conscious and constantly worrying about your secret to utterly and totally free. Simply apply this topical formula to your affected nails once in the morning and once at night. That way, they can do their job of destroying every trace of fungus once and for all. We have no intention of mass-producing this solution, as we believe that would only dilute its potency. We're committed to crafting only as much as we can closely monitor. So, if you happen to come across this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough elsewhere, be aware that it's not the genuine article. We will never sell on Amazon or eBay because we simply can't guarantee the level of quality control required on such platforms. And so, if you see our products sold anywhere else but on this page, please know that's probably a counterfeit item that may not only be ineffective, but could also cause your toenail fungus to worsen. This breakthrough can eliminate your toenail fungus now and prevent its return for years to come. You can finally bid farewell to the ineffective creams and ointments that merely mask the unsightly appearance of your toenails. Instead, you can enjoy the freedom and confidence that comes with healthy, clear toenails. Imagine not having to hide your feet in socks in the sweltering heat of summer. Picture the relief of being able to remove your shoes without a second thought, whether you're in your own home or someone else's. With this breakthrough, your days of feeling embarrassed or ashamed are over. Just think how revitalizing it will be to feel like your old self again. To see the surprise and delight in the eyes of your loved ones when they notice your clear, healthy toenails. Wouldn't that make you feel so much more at ease? More confident in social situations? When you invest in this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough today, you'll pay far less than you would for countless doctor's visits, ineffective prescriptions, and the many over-the-counter remedies that have let you down time and again. Yet, unlike any of those interventions, this breakthrough formula, I believe, the only real chance of eliminating your toenail fungus for good. Plus, when you consider that there's only one facility in the world that meets our stringent quality control standards, ensuring that each bottle contains the purest and most potent form of these strains of good bacteria that your toenails require if you want to avoid fungus, today's special low price is a steal if you ask me, because this isn't about turning a profit. It's about combating and eradicating the toenail fungus that has not only haunted me, but the countless others who endure the embarrassment and discomfort of unsightly toenails, and who fear that if they don't act soon, they'll continue living in shame and discomfort. That's why I fought tooth and nail to bring you this solution for less than $2 a day, so you can bid farewell to toenail fungus forever. But this special discounted package is only available today on this webpage and while supplies last. This is the biggest discount we've ever offered, and we're doing it because we know how transformative this will be in your life. For 6 bottles of this toenail fungus eliminating breakthrough, you'll invest only $49 per bottle. This is the right quantity to completely and thoroughly eradicate your toenail fungus, as you restore the balance of your toenail microbiome and ensure that it stays healthy and your toenails remain clear and attractive. And if you choose your package right now, you will risk absolutely nothing, because we want you to be certain that this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough is right for you. We offer every single person a 60-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. That means you have a full 60 days to test drive this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough for yourself. I'm confident you'll be ecstatic with your results. But if for any reason you're not 100% satisfied with your order, just reach out to our friendly support staff, send back all the bottles, even if they're empty, and they'll issue a refund. You know what? If you buy our 6-bottle package and your toenail fungus clears up more quickly, feel free to send us back the bottles you haven't used, and you'll get your money back for every single one of them. Even though, if I were you, I would keep them for my friends or family. That's how confident we are that this solution can work wonders. What could be simpler than that? And because you're covered by our 60-day, no-hassle, money-back guarantee, why not take advantage of our 6-month, highly discounted package? It truly is the wisest choice. I mean, you're protected either way. If you love this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough, you're locked into our lowest rate of just $49 per bottle, saving more than anybody else. And if this toenail restoring formula doesn't work for you, then you simply ask for a refund and lose nothing. No matter what happens, you truly only have everything to gain and nothing to lose. In addition, when you choose the optimal quantity of our nail fungus eliminating breakthrough today, I'm also going to include 2 bonus ebooks worth $109 absolutely free. So today only, when you invest in a 3 or 6 month supply of this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough, you'll also receive a free copy of Skin Deep, your no-nonsense guide to beating eczema, psoriasis, and more. As you now know, your toenails and your skin are interconnected. And since Dr. Landon is a world-renowned expert in microbiology and health, I had him write up this guide. Inside, you'll discover how, just like with your toenail fungus, you can banish other common skin conditions like psoriasis and eczema faster and easier than you ever thought possible. Here's just a sample of what you'll find out. The simple, sweet honey trick for dry lips, cold sores, and cracked skin that will make your skin look and feel baby soft in seconds. The bizarre secret of cabbage leaves that can transform your skin by reducing inflammation and bringing relief to eczema and psoriasis sufferers. The one thing that you need to do with your aloe vera for a peculiar yet effective solution to calm and soothe irritated skin and offer instant relief from various skin conditions. The 5 common healthy foods you're probably eating that make psoriasis and eczema 10 times worse. The second free book I'll be sharing with you today is truly special. It's called Fresh Start, scientist-approved tips and tricks for a full detox after a fungal infection. Inside it, you'll discover the 5 surprising dessert recipes that scrub your body's blood of any rogue fungal cells, the 14-day immune-boosting smoothie protocol that helps reset your metabolism after a fungal infection, and the 1-minute sunlight trick that wipes away brain fog from a fungal infection, as well as the ancient Greek remedies that get rid of any lingering fungus in the body. But that's not all, because when you order the discounted 3-month or 6-month package, you'll also get free shipping, which is an additional savings of $9.95. However, both the special multi-bottle discount and the complimentary shipping are only available for a limited time. When we run out of this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough, it could take us a considerable amount of time to formulate a new batch. So it's highly recommended to opt for the 6-bottle package or any other package below this video right now to secure your order. This could be one of the most crucial and smartest investments you'll ever make to eliminate and prevent your toenail fungus from reoccurring. So, considering all the information you've just received, I am certain you must be eager to try this formula for yourself. All you have to do to seize your discount is simply click the button below now to order the 6-month supply, or whichever amount suits your needs. Once you've selected your package, you'll then be directed to our secure order page, where you can fill out our shipping and payment information. Rest assured, we use the same professional-grade 256-bit encryption technology as places like Amazon, eBay, and Walmart, so your data is safe with us. Once you hit enter, you'll land on our confirmation page, which will thoroughly explain what you can anticipate with your order. Now, let me caution you. Sometimes we face temporary out of stocks. We do our best to prevent this, but that's just a simple reality of trying to distribute a much needed product like this to so many people placing large orders all at once. You don't need to worry though, because as long as you're watching this video right now and don't see an out of stock icon popping up anywhere, then we still have bottles of this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough left in stock. I just wanted to make this clear because I can't predict when we might run out of this stock next. And I don't want you to be in that unfortunate situation where you fall in love with this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough, only to return to this page a month later to find that it's completely sold out. So that's just another reason why our 6-month option is the most popular, because not only will you experience the full benefit of this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough, but you will also have ample time to place a follow-up order if you decide to. So go ahead and order this 6-month supply, or whatever makes the most sense to you. Right, here we are. It's time for you to make a choice. You've heard all about the revolutionary science behind this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough, and listened to the incredible stories of folks just like you who've managed to turn their lives around in mere moments each day. I stand firmly behind this product, and I've done everything in my power to make your decision today one of the simplest, most sensible choices you'll ever make. Whether you choose a large or small order, you're fully covered by our 60-day, no questions asked money-back guarantee. But in the end, the decision is yours to make. Only you can take the first step towards a life free from the shackles of toenail fungus. If you're still feeling a bit unsure, I urge you not to let apprehension or doubt deter you, because you're completely safe and protected. And when you really think about it, what's your alternative? I can only guess at the myriad of failed remedies you've tried in the past, leaving you feel hopeless, anxious, and defeated. I know, because I've likely tried them all myself. But now you have a completely new solution right in front of you. You could simply walk away from this page after hearing everything I've shared, but what would change? You just end up back on that same old treadmill of disappointments. Another expensive, ineffective, over-the-counter treatment. The embarrassment of hiding your feet during the summer months. The discomfort of always wearing socks, even in the sweltering heat. The constant fear of passing your infection on to others. The self-consciousness, the shame, the worry. You and I both know that's no way to live. That's why I'm extending my hand to offer you a way out. You don't even have to say yes. All you have to do is say maybe. In just a few moments, you could feel as if you've been given a fresh start in life. A life free from the embarrassment of toenail fungus, where you can confidently bare your feet unashamed, and where you feel in control every day. All of this and more could just be a click away. And while the choice is ultimately yours, I sincerely hope you make the right choice and banish your toenail fungus for good. All you need to do to get started is choose your package from below right now, and I'll meet you on the other side to continue guiding you on your journey. Regardless of your decision, I want to personally thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. I wish you all the health and happiness in the world. Still here? I know, that was a lot to take in. So let me clear up some common questions you might have. Question number 1. How does this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough work again? As I mentioned, our major breakthrough is packed with potent compounds that enhance the microbiome of your toenails. Your toenails, just like your gut, are home to a thriving community of bacteria and fungi. And unfortunately, our modern lifestyle often disrupts this balance, leading to unsightly toenail fungus. The potent compounds inside our formula stop all of this from happening by reintroducing good bacteria that kill fungus immediately, while rebuilding your toenail's microbiome so that it has a powerful protective shield that stops new fungus from ever latching on. Question number 2. Who should use this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough? If you had asked me this 10 years ago, I would have said only people with severe toenail fungus. But now, with all the new research showing that more and more people are suffering from stubborn, recurring toenail fungus, I suggest that anyone who is even remotely concerned about their toenail health should use it. Question number 3. What happens after I click the button below? Once you choose your package below, you'll go to our 100% secure checkout page. Just enter your payment information and place your order. And don't worry, there's no automatic billing or anything like that. After that, you'll receive your order for this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough in the next 5 to 7 business days in a discreet package. You're less than a week away from starting your journey to fungus-free toenails. Question number 4. What if it doesn't work for me? That's easy. Remember, this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough comes with a 100% money-back guarantee. That means you order this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough today, then have a full 60 days to decide if it's right for you. If you're like thousands of other men and women who have already used this advanced formula, then you'll be thrilled with the results. But if for any reason you're not, simply call or email our customer service team and we'll refund your investment. Question number 5. How long will this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough be available? That's a tough one. My goal is to help people across the country get rid of their stubborn toenail fungus. But because most people in the pharmaceutical industry aren't too happy with me and my breakthrough, it's uncertain how much longer this breakthrough will be available. Plus, with all the issues our world is facing right now, the economy isn't what it used to be. Supply chains are affected, and ingredients are a little harder to come by. That's why it's important you get this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough today, especially since it comes with a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee, which means there's zero risk to you. It's also why you really should stock up. Question number 6. Alright, I want to try this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough. Now what? That's the easy part. Just click one of the buttons below and choose your package. Remember, you can get started and save over 70% by choosing our most popular 6-bottle package. Just fill out your details on the next page to complete your order, and this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough will be in your hands within the next 5 to 7 business days. Plus, there's no risk because of my ironclad 60-day guarantee. This presentation is now ending, and I want to thank you for sticking with me all the way until the end. Go ahead and choose your package now. Use this nail fungus eliminating breakthrough as directed for at least 30 days. Then, reach out and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.